I went out to a jobs club a couple weeks ago in Quincy. Do you know what a jobs club is? Some of you do. It's a group of folks who are unemployed, and they get together to lean on each other and encourage each other, and they meet in the career centers around the Commonwealth. And I was invited to come to one in Quincy that wasn't meeting in the career center anymore. They had moved to the local IHOP because because you get a couple months in the career center. They've been out of work for a year and a half. And so they've moved their meeting because they want to continue to encourage each other. And there's their basic strategies, things like where you can get the use of a cell phone if you're unable to pay your cell phone bill anymore. How you start the conversation with your lender to restructure your mortgage, basic stuff like that. And just encouraging folks who are going through that same anxiety that other people out of work are going through. And I sat there, 20 people or so, all about my age, in their 50s. I think the youngest was 49. The oldest was 61. And they went around one by one and they told their stories. That they've done everything they were supposed to do. They had jobs, they showed up on time, they did what was asked of them, they raised their families, they saved what they could, they made, they paid their bills, they took an occasional vacation, and then one day they got a call or a note, and I understand it, I've had to do it too, as governor. Someone says we can't keep you anymore. And their life is turned upside down. It's, what this recession has done is more than what it's done to people's income and savings and home value and retirement. That's real, tangible, and profound, but it's done a number on people's heads. Their confidence in the future. And I'll tell you, all the folks sitting around that table are the folks that you are told by talk radio are angry. And not one person there was angry. They're scared. They're afraid. One guy told me that he was worried what it was going to be like in 2 weeks when his extended unemployment benefits run out. And I listened to Charlie Baker, whose answer to unemployment is to push 5,000 more people out of their jobs and 12,000 people off of the unemployment insurance rolls. I listened to his answer to education, which is to cut $2 billion out of state support for public schools. I listened to his answer on health care, which is to stand with the insurance companies while your premiums go up at double digits every year. And I think to myself, who does he see? Does he understand that it's the folks sitting around that table that we're fighting for? Not my job, theirs. Theirs. And the government has to be about helping people help themselves. Not solving every problem in everybody's life. That's not what those folks around that table are asking for. They just want a little help in helping themselves. They want to know that their candidates and their leaders and their neighbors see them and are worried about them and are working for them. Every day I go to work, every day I go to bed for that matter, I'm thinking about folks like that. Those folks and folks like them I meet all over the Commonwealth. I know that this is an anxious time. I know you are worried too. And your members are worried. You're worried about what happens in your own jobs, what happens in your own schools, what happens in your own families. I know that. But I can tell you there's some lessons that you learned growing up on the south side of Chicago and growing up in poverty. And that is, you can sit around and be angry all you want, but if that's all I had learned on the south side of Chicago, I'd still be on the south side of Chicago. What I learned is the powerful blend of optimism and effort. Hoping for the best and working for it. And that's what our plan has been from the beginning. That's why we place the emphasis we do on education, on health care, and on job creation. That's why we're growing jobs in the Commonwealth faster than every other state in America. Every other one. 65,000 jobs this year alone so far. That's why we've expanded health care to 98% of our residents. And it's why we have supported public education, state support for public schools at the highest level in the history of the Commonwealth, even when the bottom has been falling out of everything else. We're not done. I know that. I know that. Someone said the other day, this is a very inconvenient time to have an election. Because we're right in the middle. And the question is, are we going to continue to climb out of this hole and faster than the rest of the country? Or are we going to choose policies of the very kind that got us into this national economic mess to begin with? And we're going to have to call it that, because that's what it is. That is what it is. Are we going to be true to our values? Generational responsibility, chief among them. That old idea every single one of us learned from our grandparents, that we're supposed to do what we can in our time to leave it better for those who come behind us. By the way, that is what teachers do. That's your job. That's in the job description, whether it's stated or not. That's what makes a great school. And so it's particularly in that spirit that I am honored to stand with you. But I'm telling you, when you ask someone to put a bumper sticker on your car, don't ask them to do it for me. Ask them to do it for those folks sitting around that IHOP table in Quincy. When you ask someone to put a sign on your lawn or in their shop window, do it for the folks in Quincy. When you ask someone to identify themselves as a voter, to be a part of the GOTV effort, the Get Out the Vote effort, which is critical, do it for those folks. Again, it's not my job we're fighting for. It's theirs and yours. We still have some hard decisions ahead of us. We're not out of this yet, as you well know. But I'm confident that if we take this moment to turn to each other instead of on each other, if we stick to a plan that is getting results today, then our best and brightest days are ahead, and we will be able to say that we reached that better and brighter time and place together. I'm honored to be with you. Thank you for your help.